All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we actually got iconic West Coast hip hop artist, producer, DJ. This individual is a jack of all trades. We got the one and only Chili Chill of the Lench Mob right here, live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
Shit was cracking with you, man. Good to be here. Good to be here.
And I gotta say, it definitely is an honor just to have you on my radio station airways this evening, man. I have to ask, how's everything out there on the West Coast? I know down here in Canada we're dealing with excuse my language, but a shit show, man. How's everything out there in California?
Well, today it was kind of, sunny, blue skies, kind of cold, a little breezy. Not too bad, not too bad. I mean, we were having a little rain here and there, but it's good to have them sunny days.
But Chili, I know you're a very busy individual, man, so I'm going to dive right into this interview, but I want to take you back to the beginning of your iconic career, and I have to ask, what actually made you decide to pursue a career within the music industry initially?
And just really for the love of music, man. I started out DJing. So from DJing led me to producing. Knocking out hood parties and clubs and colleges and stripper parties and all of that.
And also, as well, as you already know, you were an original member of the iconic Lench Mob. I was wondering, what is the story behind that group, and of course, how did you actually get connected with the other members back in the early 90s?
Well, we all was all doing our thing, basically. We all came from different groups and different crews doing our thing. Me by way of DJing, and then, Sir Jinx doing his thing. And number one, let me give a Lench Mob roll call. Shout out to Ice Cube, Yo-Yo, Sir Jinx, 3, JD, T-Bone, Shorty, rest in peace, Dazzy D, KD, Dale, Cam, Dub C, Rip, DJ Crazy Tunes, Melee, Big G, Rip, People But Ron, Big Cal, Big Tom, Kenny Rat, you know what I'm saying? Even Boogeyman in the house, Bobcat, DJ Pooh, Rashad, you know what I'm saying? L.A. Zoo, Boogeyman in the house. So we just all connected, man, from just doing different things. And once Cube left and went solo and left NWA, that's what left us basically to form the Lench Mob, basically back him up.
And also, as well, in the year 1990, Ice Cube and the Lench Mob actually attended the New Music Seminar that was actually out there in New York City. I was wondering if you can actually tell us about the events that actually took place that day and what originally caused that entire scene to actually break out.
Well, I didn't go with them when they did that. But, I mean, they had a little difference at the time, a little get down with above the law at that particular time. I wasn't there, though. So I really can't tell you too much about that.
Because I remember seeing that in the Straight Outta Compton movie, and the one thing I always thought is how Hollywood always kind of dramatizes a lot of situations. So that's why I figured I would bring that up. So that way, if you were there, individuals could really actually know the real story behind that. Because I do know when it came to the Straight Outta Compton movie, a lot of stuff was kind of stretched out just for the movie.
Yeah. Well, we never had a problem with Easy them, so the fact that basically controlled in that was never against Easy.
And also, as well, September 22nd of 1992, the Lench Mob actually released my personal favorite record, titled Gorillas in the Mist. I was wondering if you can actually tell us the story behind that iconic project, and of course, did you guys think it would be as big as it is today when you guys originally first recorded that?
No, I mean, we basically were just getting down, leaving off from where Cube left off from his death certificate, basically. So we all put that together. Me, JD, T-Bone, Shorty, rest in peace, and all of that. We all got together and just knocked that out. Woody was one of the producers on there also. Pooh, myself, Rashad. We basically all just put that together and knocked that out.
And I gotta say as well, one of my favorite songs off that record will always be Buck the Devil, man. Always my go-to joint when I first start that record.
That's right. That's right. I'm not mad at you on that.
And also as well, you actually produced many of many of Ice Cube's projects, but the one that really always stood out to me was how you produced the majority of the tracks actually on Ice Cube's debut album, America's Most Wanted. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about those recording sessions, and of course, what was it like just producing this timeless classic?
I mean, it was fun. I mean, it was me, Jinx, Chuck D. them, Hank and Keith Shockley, Eric Sattler. You know what I'm saying? We all got together and put that down and made that happen. But it was like, man, it was fun. It was fun and a good, learning lesson at the same time, knocking out that project. Because we had all been doing, little small stuff here, there, and there, and knocking out stuff there, being in the industry anyway. But then, that basically put us through the test. So we knocked out as much as we could here in L.A., and then we took it to the next level by going to New York and connecting up with Chuck and the Bomb Squad.
And I gotta say as well, in my personal opinion, that's one of my personal favorite Ice Cube releases, because you could really hear a difference in his music after he left NWA. Because it was once, I believe that dropped like I think a year or so right after he left.
Exactly. Well, he got a chance to be more flexible and do his thing, and put his basically work that pen. I mean, Cube's a good writer, man.
Because also as well, in the year 2005, it actually was listed as listed in the book 1001 albums you actually must hear before you die. And I gotta say that book does not lie, because if you have not heard that album, I suggest you got to go back and actually listen to it from front to back.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a classic. I mean, everything basically that he did was a classic. He put his all into it. We put our all into it, and did what we had to do to give the fans and give the people what they want to hear.
And also as well, in the year 2004, you actually had the opportunity to produce Paperboy's song titled "Take a Toast" on his "The Love Never Dies" album. I was wondering, how did yourself and Paperboy get connected? And of course, what was it like just working with him on that particular project?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, we all basically connected, all being from the West Coast, and all being from the LA, all from the LA area and all of that. So basically, everybody that was into music, doing their thing, from the Uncle Jam's Army to the LA Mix Masters to on down the line. All of that tied together, so everybody ran into each other. We all do our thing. Well, we all did our thing, brother.
And I gotta say as well, when it comes to Paperboy, in my personal opinion, he does not get the credit that he most definitely deserves, because he was most definitely a valid asset to West Coast hip hop actually in the '90s, man. Like, he made so many phenomenal songs, including Diddy.
Exactly. Well, you know what, man? A lot of people don't get the credit that they should get. So I mean, that's why we need to give them their flowers while they're still alive and while they doing their thing now. Just mentioning their names, basically, putting them back in the loop.
And also as well, aside from hip-hop, I actually read that you actually had the opportunity to work with the heavy metal group Korn. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that, and was it a different transition going from a hip-hop record to producing a metal record?
Well, I mean, you basically producers. To be a producer, you got to be able to do everything from rock to country to pop to jazz to blues to all that. It's all music at the end of the day. Whether you sampling it, putting it together, or whether you playing bass, guitar, drums, and putting it together. But that was something that me and RBX knocked out. We did a song called Born Wild. Basically, that was tied to Body Count. And then the Korn situation, we put them in to knock out a song called Rough Enough.
And I gotta give
RBX vocal on the track, Korn doing their thing.
And I gotta give a shout out to RBX as well, man. Still a phenomenal artist and still actually putting it down after all these years, man. Absolute legend.
Exactly. He needs to give more credit too at the same time for what he has brought to the game.
And also as well, I actually read that you were actually at one point signed to Death Row Records. I was wondering, how did that record deal come to be for you? And of course, what was it like just actually working alongside Marion Suge Knight?
I mean, it was cool. I ain't never had no problems with him. I mean, back when he used to bodyguard Easy and, all of that. When he was bodyguarding Bobby Brown and just doing his thing. We all run into each other, so it's like, we previously knew each other from the past in different, different run-ins and doing that. So it's like, shit, he offered me a deal, so I rolled with it. And the rest was basically history. So I was around. I ended up signing up before Pac got there.
And I have to ask, why? Could you tell us a little bit more, actually, about the behind the scenes at the very beginning of Death Row? Because I know before Pac got there, that was really the beginning stages of when Snoop was at the peak of his career on top during his Death Row days. That was probably the Doggy Style era.
Yeah, so I came like late '94 when I came to the game, so they was already up and running from late '92 to going into '93. That was some of their best years, '93, releasing Doggy Style and the Chronic and all of that stuff. But I mean, hey, it was a good thing. It was a learning lesson from how he got down and how he basically, owned his masters and how he wouldn't let certain vocals leave out the studio, all of that. That was basically a good idea.
And the one last question I have pertaining to the Death Row days, I have to ask, what actually made you decide to leave Death Row? Because like you said, they were pretty much already started, already like running full force. What actually made you decide to kind of just part ways?
Well, just stepped out to do different stuff. Stepped out to do different stuff, basically. I mean, it wasn't long term anyway when we was chopping it up and we was doing what we was doing. Just something we just knocked out and did at the time. So he gave me the opportunity. I took it and ran with it, and they just moved on to different things. So it wasn't on no bad blood and nothing like that. I always been the type that I'll just keep it moving. I like doing, being versatile, doing different things.
And also as well, I actually read that you were currently working on a new series for VH1. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that project, and of course, what can we actually expect from it when it does drop to the general public?
Well, some I can't really too much get into because we're still going back and forth in negotiations. So that I'll probably get into later once it kicks in. All the way, signing a non-disclosure, you only can speak so much.
Most definitely, I completely agree on that. But I do know that it's coming from the one and only DJ Chili Chill, so I think myself and the fans already know that it's going to be a phenomenal project no matter what it is.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's definitely going to be something to tune into, and the fans definitely will be happy, and, it'll be something to see. I'm also locked in with NFT fans, so that's with all the little NFTs and all that stuff, so that should be coming soon. That's one of the first black-owned companies that's coming with the NFT, dealing with everything, dealing with all the futuristic stuff and the metaverse and all of that. So give them a shout-out to NFT fans.
And while we're actually on the topic of that, I was wondering, for the listeners that actually kind of want to get into NFTs but don't really know too much about it, I was wondering, and I do know it's a big, huge concept, but if you can, try and break it down for the individuals on what an NFT is and how they go about really being a part of what you guys got going on.
Well, NFT fans, you can basically, they deal with music, artwork. Say, for instance, if you got like, whatever I did, say for instance me doing the America's Most Wanted or the Kill at Will of the Death Certificate, what drum machines I use. Say for instance a SB1200, an MPC, something like that. You basically would lock that in. You can take pictures of it and basically you sell it on the metaverse. And fans basically buy it. So it's like basically like you collecting artifacts. And you also can do, music and stream your music through there also at the same time. So say, for instance, if I'll put up my turntables, basically, and took pictures of it, you basically can sell that in the metaverse. And that's how people make money. Because you have certain collectors that, if they're fans, then they'll buy it.
And also, as well, I read that actually in the year 2012, yourself and DJ Holiday actually worked with the one and only Gucci Mane on the song Trap Back. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that. And of course, what was it like just working on the song Ghetto on the Trap Back record?
It was more like music in the track that I basically shot to him for them to do. So I wasn't physically there when they recorded that. I just shot the music and they knocked it out and took it from there. But I mean, it was cool. It was an honor. Yeah, Gucci Mane is cool.
And I also, as well, read that you are actually currently working on a brand new Lynch Mob record. I was wondering if you can shed some light on this up-and-coming release, and of course, what can we actually expect from this phenomenal project when it does drop?
Well, this one is going to have all the members. Because, I mean, it's a difference. You got D.A. Lynch Mob, and you have the original, the Lynch Mob, T-H-E. So D.A. was a group that Q put together, which consisted of J.D., T-Bone, Shorty, rest in peace. And then they had a DJ named Woody. So that was that. You still had everybody else that was from the Lynch Mob, the original that come from the American Most Wanted days, like the 89, 90, 91, like that. The rest of them that rapped and did their thing, like Dazzy, KD, 3, and all of them. Dale, the Homo sapiens. So you still have the rest of the members, Yo-Yo. So see, they didn't participate on the D.A. Lynch Mob, the Gorillas in the Mist. So this right here will be every member except Shorty, rest in peace.
And I have to...
Features and all that. It's going to be, all brand new material with all the members coming together, joining with features. Definitely going to be a banger.
And I have to ask, is there any, unreleased material of Shorty, or is unfortunately everything that he did do when he was still with us is already released to the public?
No, it's definitely some stuff coming. So, I mean, I have some stuff floating around that I recorded on him before he passed. He was working on another project before he passed. Also, he has a documentary called Coming Up Short that's getting ready to come out also. So, about his life that includes, all the members and his journey through life at the same time. So it's called Coming Up Short. So you'll be able to see Shorty in his rare form.
And also, as well, you actually provided us with two phenomenal songs titled Need Cash in My Hands and The Last OG. I was wondering, what can our listeners expect from these songs if they haven't already heard them when I play them right here on the FM dial momentarily, right after this broadcast?
Well, for me, me rapping, normally I don't rap. I'm more of a DJ and producer, but I just started, I don't know, I said I want to just jump into it and just shoot something and just throw something out there and test the waters. And see, basically, do people like it? And do the fans like it? And just always keeping the West Coast going up to the W,
And I gotta say, the song "The Last OG" is definitely my favorite out of these two, man. I was actually jamming to these in the car, when I was doing my running around today. Definitely some phenomenal, classic West Coast joints right here.
I appreciate that. Also, if y'all can go out and get Forever Rolling. It's a JD anthem, basically. So he got something out. And then him and the Chill just knocked out a song that's floating around also. So, I mean, each of the Lynch Mob members basically all got solo albums and solo projects that they're also doing. And then we coming together to do one Lynch Mob album at the same time.
But I have to ask, Chili Chill, what is next for yourself? I do know we only touched base on a sliver of your iconic career this evening, but I was wondering, is there anything we happen to miss? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the Canadian FM dial this evening.
Well, I mean, I got basically an artist named Floss Mode. His project will be dropping soon. Sonny Black, J Money, that was tied to 19th Street with C-Styles and all them, Ken from the other end, Philly K, Mad Pup, a.k.a. Grizz from Inglewood, Cray Ski project dropping. I'm doing something with Wayne Bond that did Let's Groove Tonight for Earth, Wind, and Fire. His wife is Wanda of the Emotions. We also got a documentary with Suave and Big T, tied with Fouet Rick, World Pandemic, documentary about basically stopping the violence, and putting the guns down in the streets, with Crips and Bloods and all of that to kind of stop the violence. So it's it's a lot of stuff that's coming in, that's gonna come. Plus, I got a solo album dropping myself, and then a beat CD dropping. Where I'm gonna drop volumes of beats and instrumentals that basically people can buy and use basically same time.
And also,
a lot of.
My apologies.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, while we actually have you here, before we part ways, if you can drop them social media handles, that way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything you got going on if they're not already doing so.
For sure. Instagram, OG Chili Chill. Instagram, OG Chili Chill for Facebook. Website, www.chilichill.net. Also, you can hit me on, TikTok, DJ Chili Chill 1 on TikTok. So, hey, get at me.
And now you got to say, Chili Chill, thank you so much, man, for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening, and of course, helping to create and produce so many iconic projects throughout the years, man. I got to say, on behalf of all the fans, we definitely appreciate you, because without individuals like yourself, would those projects really have came out, Because at the end of the day, people sometimes forget about the producer. Without a producer, what really is a CD, in my personal opinion?
Exactly. Well, shout out to Outlaw Radio. Shout out to you for having me. Shout out to the fans for tuning in. Much love, much respect.
Hey, most definitely. You are most certainly welcome. And thank you so much again, Chili Chill. And most definitely have yourself a wonderful night out there on the West Coast.
No problem. You too. Yeah.